From now on, we're going to unleash more Bandmaid until they achieve domination on this channel. Now, this only makes good sense. And I'm just an influencer, but I can be one piece of the puzzle, the catharsis, if you will, so that if you choose me, you can begin to feel the onset of freedom in your musical life. You can come out of your bubble and begin blooming in the glory of their music. Now, don't let me down, and don't you tell me that you're alone. Come out of the nonfiction days before yesterday and discover the very real existence of musical genius and the thrill that is Bandmaid. So go ahead, roll the dice. Hey there, just having a little fun with you. By request, Shambles, the official music video. Let's take a look at it. Saiki's such a front person, isn't she? What a voice and what a presence that she carries with her when she's in a video or on stage. Either way, I really appreciated that this song was bass driven. Misa is a pleasure to watch as well as listen to. She's just got this perfect tone in her bass that had that gritty rock feel. It just kept and the bass just kept peeking its head out on all points in that song. So excellent to hear. And I, a lot of times I'm watching Konami or Miku because I think, I'm a guitarist. So, and Konami is like their secret weapon, guys. If you don't know that, and I'm sure you do, all of you Bandmaid fans, but if you're new to Bandmaid, keep your eye on that lady. She's their secret weapon. I mean, she has got, I know she does a lot of the writing, and surely she's doing a lot of directing and arrangement of these songs. But, every member of the band, I would love to see a camera just hover over Akane and watch her play those drums. She's doing a lot of interesting, cool stuff back there. And drummers never get enough love from the camera unless you're like Neil Peart of Rush. So, yeah. And who doesn't love Miku and the way she does all that excellent support work in the band, from vocals to guitar. And I've been under the understanding that she's been learning the guitar as she's gone along here. And that's no easy task if you like to do vocals as well. And she carries it off, makes it look easy. This whole band makes everything look easy. I know we have a conversation going in the comments about comparisons to the Beatles. Let me be clear. I don't ever feel like you can compare one band to another in terms of saying they're just like that band. That's not what we're saying here. What we're saying is there are key elements in this band that harken back to what the Beatles were doing in terms of songwriting, in terms of stretching the genre limits, in terms of presentation, arrangement of material, and we're going to cover those issues. I want to say that this idea that I presented on them being like the Beatles was not mine originally. I saw a commenter, Hiawatha, make this statement. And at first I was kind of like, I don't know, man, the Beatles took 10 years of unfocused rock and roll, because it began in 51 with, I think the first rock song was Rocket 88. And they took 10 years of that. Everything from Johnny Cash being classified as rock. Then you had Elvis, you had Bill Haley in the Comments, you had Chuck Berry, and it was all over the place, right? Sometimes a cappella quartets were classified as rock. So rock wasn't focused yet. It was a brand new genre. And the Beatles' great contribution to rock was to focus it and at the same time stretch the limits. So what they did was they took skiffle, which if you don't know what skiffle is, you can look it up on Wikipedia. It was popular in the United States in the 40s and started dying off in the late 50s, but it was still popular, or was only beginning to be popular in Liverpool and most of England. And the Beatles were playing a lot of skiffle work, so this gave them an idea of variety, right? So, all kinds of different instruments could be, they saw a lot of bands that were using, kitchen instruments, utensils as instruments. So they took a genre, rock and roll, and combined skiffle with blues, with country. And then they said, let's just write it how we want to write it. And they drew sometimes from nursery rhymes and old beer hall songs, and we're talking old, hundreds of years old, and folk music for the area, and they put all that into music, and they put that all in, and then made it a rock and roll sound, defined as rock. Now, I'm being very simplistic in my explanation here, but that's the general overall tone of what they did. So that, and they pushed the boundaries so that every time they walked into the studio, every other musician in the new genre of rock and roll held their breath. That, they either had to distance themselves from what the Beatles were about to do next, or they had to figure it out and incorporate it into their sound. So you can have comparisons between Bandmaid and the Beatles, and they can be, I think we can go pretty deep on this, especially in the songwriting and composition. But what the Beatles did could be true of Bandmaid to a point, and that point will go pretty far, I think. And I'd like to explore how far that point goes. All of you have an opinion. Some of you don't think, some of you think this is a hill of beans. That's fine. You have your opinion, but I kind of want to suss this out. Are we thinking in the right way, or is this wrong? Is this not true at all? Is this somehow some fabrication? I don't think it is. It really struck me as having a ring of truth to it because of the way they write their songs, because of how they arrange after they've composed their songs. So I've said enough. I'm really interested in doing this. So throw your comments in. What do you think? How do you think they're like the Beatles? How do you think they're unlike the Beatles? And try to broaden what you're saying or thinking. Broaden it out to how do they affect the genre of rock and roll? What happens when they play heavy metal and then turn around and play some hard rock like Thrill and then flip over and do an acoustic number that isn't necessarily rock? How do you view that? I view that like what the Beatles did. I mean, the first time I heard Act Naturally, I'm thinking, why would you play a song by Buck Owens? Right? But I couldn't help but like it because it showed their personality. And I think that's what we're after here, Bandmaid's personality. Look at all they've been through to get to where they are. It's really definitely molded them into one musical instrument. So let's check that all out. And I've talked too long, and I'm going to let you go, but I have to be gone for the weekend, literally and figuratively, depending on which day it is, because I want to do some maintenance work to get some things up to speed. We're about to hit monetization on this channel, and I want to be ready for it when it happens. Thank you very much, because it'll allow me to upgrade some things here. So hit the subscribe button down there. If there's a thank you and you got a buck, throw it this way. If you don't, I don't have a buck. It's Christmas time, right? But later on when you get one, don't forget. And thank you very much for all your encouragement, support, and the lively conversation in the comments. I'm very much enjoying this. I absolutely adore this band. I have ever since I first started listening to them. We're going to watch a lot of videos that I've already seen. I don't care. Let's just do it again. It's fine. I could listen to them all day long. So I hope you have a great weekend. Thanks for being here. I'll see you later. Bye now.